evening and welcome along to Transfer Centre. They've already got the world's most expensive defender, and now Liverpool are ready to make Alisson the world's most expensive goalkeeper.
Yes, indeed. The stunning move has gathered pace throughout the day, and Sky and Italy now understand that Jurgen Klopp is on the brink of getting his man. Full details for you in just a moment. Plus, we'll have an update on the talks between Aston Villa and Tottenham over a deal for Jack Grealish. And Jack Wilshere has left the Gunners, but can he help West Ham shoot up the table? An interview with their new signing on the way.
Well, just one place to start, I think that is with today's major developments at Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp appears to be on the brink of stealing a stunning, record-breaking move for the Roma goalkeeper Alisson. Our reporter Aidan McGee, as you see, has joined us. Good evening to you, Aidan. Wow, this one's moved along quite quickly today. Take us through the ins and outs of the deal.
Yeah, very quickly indeed. I mean, it's basically all happened, as far as we understand, in the last 24 to 36 hours. But yeah, in a nutshell, Jules, our colleagues, Sky colleagues in Italy are reporting that Liverpool have now struck a deal with the Roma goalkeeper Alisson to complete a £67 million deal, subject, of course, to the completion of a medical. Remember, we saw him at the World Cup, didn't we? He was in goal for Brazil as they got to the quarter-finals and were beaten by Belgium. But he's agreed a 5-year contract at Anfield. Personal terms are all sorted. We're expecting him in the UK tomorrow to complete formalities on that medical in the next couple of days. But we should say at this stage that neither Roma or Liverpool are commenting. We've learned also in the last 24 hours that Chelsea saw Alisson as a realistic target if, as is eminently possible, Thibaut Courtois goes to Real Madrid. We know that Madrid is his favoured destination. That's where his kids are. That's, of course, where he spent that successful time with Atletico 4 years ago when they got to the Champions League final. So big work to do for the rest of the team to catch up.
So 67 million for Alisson, as it will be. Klopp's already brought in Keita this summer, Fabinho, Shaqiri. What are their rivals going to be making of all this?
Well, I imagine it's going to prick a few ears up, actually, because if you think about it, Manchester United and Tottenham are among a number of clubs who have yet to make a signing as yet. And Liverpool seems to be avoiding the mistakes that should have been remedied last season. The goalkeeping position is a real point in question because, of course, it cost them so dearly in the Champions League final when they probably should have won, or certainly fancied by a lot of people, to win their 6th Champions League. But those errors by Loris Karius cost them dearly in the final. So they've moved to take steps on that. And in addition to the names you reeled off there, and it was a considerable list, don't forget they spent £75 million on Southampton's Virgil van Dijk last summer. He looked particularly impressive. So, as I say, it's a game of catch-up now because there's only 3 weeks to go and we've got plenty more to come on the Sky Pad just a short time from now, Jules.
So we're waiting on Alisson then, all this being confirmed. Aidan's got his phone ready, so once we know anything more, we'll let you know. Alisson then on the brink of sealing this move to Anfield. Graham Souness is not surprised that Liverpool have looked to strengthen in this particular area.
I see their interest in the goalkeeper. I think as much as Jurgen would want it to have been loyal and do the right thing by the goalkeeper, I think ultimately, you know, he has to go out and get another one. Simply because if Karius was to make the same mistake or a mistake going forward in a big game, it'd all be down to the manager not correcting that situation. It's obvious to everyone. Look what he did in the Champions League final. So the manager for me, if he's out to get Alisson or another top goalkeeper, is doing the right thing.
Well, here's the context of Alisson's potential £67 million fee. He'd become the world's most expensive goalkeeper, and by some distance. Ederson of Manchester City was previously the most expensive after he moved from Benfica for £34.7 million last year. So you're talking over 30 million more than that. Before that, Buffon held the record for many years, being the first goalkeeper to be worth over £30 million when he left Parma to join Juve back in 2001. And that Alisson deal will push Jurgen Klopp's spending past £400 million since he took over as manager there in October 2015. In the context of their top 6 rivals, it means they've had the 3rd highest spend of anyone, just behind Chelsea, and they've spent more than double that of Tottenham.
And look, as you'd expect, this potential world record deal has got you on your phones, your tablets, your laptops to find out
Fourth for the most assists, 5 in total among other midfielders. He came in second for the most shots of all Championship midfielders. He created 49 chances, so he comes in ranked 6th on the list. But in terms of chances created from open play, nobody did it better than Grealish. 45 chances last season. He also topped the rankings for fouls won, so he draws the fouls. He's tricky to get hold of, and he was second in terms of completing dribbles as well, 83 in total. The former Villa midfielder George Boateng certainly thinks he'd be a good fit for Spurs.
The talent is there. He can play. He's a good player and still developing. And I think Tottenham would be a good place for Jack if materialised to play his football, because they're a footballing team. Jack's got skills, he's got a lot of qualities to beat a player, and he's got an eye for goal. I do understand, however, that he's not a proven Premier League player, so the price tag of 30-40 million can be a lot, depending on how Jack Grealish develops his game.
So Grealish could be on the move in a deal worth up to £40 million, and that would make him the most expensive player ever. That's the highest fee ever paid for a Championship player. £10 million more than Everton paid for England goalkeeper Jordan Pickford last summer. Tottenham also paid £30 million when they signed Moussa Sissoko from Newcastle on deadline day 2 years ago.
OK, let's keep it Tottenham just for now, and a player of considerable repute who didn't actually feature much after Christmas last season. And could we see developments then on the future of this man, Toby Alderweireld, now that the World Cup is over? He said yesterday that the fact he One of the newcomers, of course, Bournemouth were in that position 3 years ago themselves, but Fulham are coming back after a 4-year absence from the Premier League, going up at Wembley, of course, memorably last May. And Sky sources are telling us that they want to sign Kevin Mbabu, but they face competition from Basel for the young boys right back. They're yet to make a formal bid. We also understand young boys have rejected a £7 million bid from Basel for the defender, but value him at around £10 million. Of course, plenty of money as well being spent in the Championship. Let's head up to the northwest or the Midlands, depending on where you stand on where exactly Stoke City is geographically. But they're looking to get back to the Premier League after a 10-year absence, and Napoli have rejected a bid in the region of £13 million from Stoke for former defender Vlad Chiriches. Remember, the Romanian was brought to White Hart Lane in the summer of 2013 with some of the proceeds from the sale of Gareth Bale, but that may not be where their business is done. In fact, I'm pressing the wrong button. If I go to the left, I'll be able to tell you just a little bit more about him, actually. Sky sources understand that Stoke are interested in signing Huddersfield's Tom Ince. We understand Ince, who played under Stoke boss Gary Rowett at Derby 2 seasons ago, remains with the Huddersfield squad in Frankfurt for pre-season. Stoke are also interested in Newcastle's Matt Ritchie, but are unlikely to go for both players. This could have a knock-on effect, because if they decide against Ritchie, that would have implications for Newcastle's pursuit of Andros Townsend at Crystal Palace.
So the window in full swing then, but who has been the busiest so far? Well, that is one of the new boys, and it's Wolves, who've done 8 deals, while Brighton have strengthened significantly. They've made 7 signings. Manuel Pellegrini started his reign at West Ham with 7 as well. We're going to be hearing from one of them, Jack Wilshere, in just a moment. Now, Unai Emery has also done 5 deals, as you see there, for Arsenal so far this summer. Only 3 clubs are yet to register, as you see right down here, yet to register any summer signings. So Wolves the busiest, and now they've added Euro 2016 winning goalkeeper Rui Patricio. He says his relationship with Nuno Espirito Santo wasn't the only reason he decided to join the club.
O Nuno foi sem dúvida uma peça fundamental também para vir, porque já o conheço há alguns anos, e sem dúvida que foi também dos motivos fortes para vir, também pelo projeto que o Wolves também tem, e foi sem dúvida uma grande ajuda também para vir e ter a oportunidade também de jogar aqui.
So, as we said a few moments ago, Jack Wilshere is one of 7 major signings that West Ham have made this summer. But why did he decide to move to the London Stadium when he had other offers?
The manager, the players they already had, obviously they've brought in a few more players which are going to strengthen the squad, but it's important that we have a strong squad, not just a strong team, a strong squad. Everyone knows how difficult the Premier League is around November, December time. When it gets really busy, you're going to need everyone. So we're all excited, we're working hard, and all eyes at the moment are on our first game, Liverpool away, but we've got a lot of hard work to do before then, and we'll be ready.
Looking at the signings, the players who have come in, is Europe a realistic target this season for West Ham, do you think? We don't want to put any limits on our season. As you said, we've got some good players coming, some top players who have played in Europe's top leagues at top clubs. So, I know from a personal point of view, I want to be playing in Europe, and from the players they brought in and the players that are there, they want a better season than they did last year. So I think it's important that we take each day as it comes, each game as it comes, and we build up from there.
Now, Middlesbrough defender Fabio Da Silva has signed a 3-year deal with Ligue 1 side FC Nantes. The Brazilian international made 54 appearances for Middlesbrough, during which he scored twice. He'll wear the number 2 shirt there. And some news just reaching us here. Jamie Mackie has joined Oxford on a 2-year deal. He was released by QPR at the end of the season.
Usain Bolt wants to become a professional footballer in Australia, but the country's FA haven't exactly been gushing in welcoming the fastest man on the planet. Bolt's agreed a 6-week trial with Central Coast Mariners with a view to earning a contract. However, Football Federation Australia would have to top up the former athlete's wages from its marquee player fund. The Mariners have offered to pay 70% of Bolt's salary, but it's thought the FFA